Okay, good morning, everybody. And what's today's topic on Coffee and Questions? Well, I had a friend that said, "Hey, did you see the recent deal out at Harbor Freight on these ammo cans, the metal ones?" And I told him no. So he showed me this ad where you can get these at a discount, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. And he goes, "Well, actually, with the discount, it doesn't seem to be a bad deal, and I wonder if I can apply any other coupons, or anything to it." I told him, "Well, I don't know, but usually if they discount things, down like that, they probably aren't going to." I go, "Anyway, I said, go on with what, you're saying." And he goes, "Well, I was wondering," he goes, "I'd like to pick up about 3 or 4 of these." He goes, "Because they're so inexpensive." He goes, "I'm just trying to figure out, what things could I do with them?" He goes, "Besides just put like tools in them and snap them shut, and stack them up in the garage on the shelf." And I go, "Well, you'd have to make sure that you labeled them." But I go, first things first, let me show you the recent coupon. And I don't know how long it's going to be good for. And then we'll go over some examples of what you can do with these ammo cans if you choose to buy them. So I'm going to change the picture right now. Let's take a look at the current ad. Okay, so what I did is I overlaid this current coupon on here. So make sure you understand it's good through 10/31. And you can only buy 5 of them, it says, as a limit. But the price is marked down to $10 at $9.99. And you sit and say, okay, well, that's a great price, but what am I going to do with these ammo cans? I mean, they have a limited use. Well, if you're into projects, home hobbies and stuff, and you want to get out and play around with the kids and make things, or just have some fun projects, or maybe your wife has ideas of what you could do with them, I'm going to show you several pictures here to give you ideas. And from the ideas, you can develop, your own way and tweaking of wanting to do things. So let me change the picture. We'll talk about each one. I won't make it a long video. We'll get right to the point. But I thought for $10, maybe you throw a few more dollars at it and you can come up with some very clever ideas that might interest you in what to do with these ammo cans. So here we go. First picture. Okay, so let's take a look at these 3 pictures. Here's somebody that went ahead and they attached one to the bumper on their RV and just use it for storage. Now you can also put like an eye hook or something, through this, easy enough with a drill, a bolt, and the eye hook will come through it and you can put a padlock on them. That's kind of what this guy did in his truck bed. Not exactly the way I would have mounted it in a truck bed, but it's the way that he did it, and he used an eye bolt where he just drilled a hole, tightened it up, and he was able to put a padlock on it. Now, not so much from Harbor Freight like we're talking about, but you can go to these Army surplus stores and you can get much larger ammo cans. Of course, they're going to cost you more, and I've seen them cost more, but it depends on the condition of them and the particular store that you're going to. But you can use larger ammo cans for storage boxes too, whether it's in your truck or like on the back of this Jeep over here. This guy kind of made them this nice dull black color and went ahead and attached them on the back of his Jeep. And then, like I said, you can always figure out a way to lock stuff up if you want to. But let's change the picture. Let's keep moving. I want to show you some more ideas. Okay, so here's some more where somebody used them as a planter box over on the right. And you can actually tar the inside of them, put gravel in them, drill holes through the bottom so the water, runs out and it doesn't rot them out, and you can use them for planters. So I would encourage, if you're going to do that, you coat the inside, with something, some kind of liner material, and then put a little layer of gravel in there, then put your soil in there, your topsoil or what have you, and plant your plants. That way when you water them, the water will drip out and they'll last you much, much longer. Over on the left, of course, he zapped them into 2x4 studs on his walls in his garage. And what he did is he affixed that lid to those 2x4s so it stays open, and then he can just put stuff in there. And that's a pretty clever idea if you need storage and you just want to keep stuff up and out of the way. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, here's a couple more pictures. These are small stoves, or they call them rocket stoves, where you can play around with some design ideas. And if you're running into trouble trying to figure out how you're going to do the handles, out at Harbor Freight, sometimes for $5 and under, you get these little chipping hammers used for welding. And you just cut off the head of it, and then you can bend that longer piece of steel and make them into handles. I've seen that done on lots of barbecues and stuff. Or you can just fashion your own way of making the handles and the little trap door and stuff. But he used hinges here, drilled holes, used rivets. You can also, just to put the hinges on there, you can use a MIG welder on a low setting and just zap the hinges on there. And this is kind of a clever idea what he did, and he used a vent pipe up here to make the smokestack. And if you can pause the video, make sketches, do what you want if you choose to make one of these, but I thought it was a clever idea. Let me show you a few more. Okay, here's 2 more examples, and I went ahead and blew them up as much as I could. They start getting distorted if it gets too big. But you can see where he's made these stoves, so he can cook on, throw some kindling in there after boring this great big hole through it. Or the one over on the right, where he used like carriage bolts, and he made legs for his to make it portable for camping and so forth. That's another good idea. Still, let me show you some more pictures. Okay, let's take a look at these 2. He used a piece of expanded metal he had or laying around, or he went out and bought it, or whatever he did. He cut it to the exact size of the opening of the ammo can. He put these little skewer rods, or you can pick up 1/4 inch, cold rolled steel rods from Lowe's, Home Depot, or whatever. Now that's kind of expensive, so if you have a steel supplier in town or anything like that, you're going to get it a lot cheaper. You can get it for $3, $4, $5 for like 10 feet of it. But if not, and you're in a hurry, you might use anything else. You can use probably wire coat hangers or whatever you want just to fabricate this thing real quick. But you can take your time and you can make it look fancy. You can make it look nice. The expanded metal setting on there is nice because it's easy to take off and clean when you're done using it. But it would make a very small barbecue, but it does work. The other guy over here on the right, he decided to make an Army mailbox and wrote on it mail call and kind of decorated it up, and I thought it was pretty cool looking, so I wanted to include it in the slideshow here just to give you more ideas. A couple more, and then I'll answer a couple questions. Okay, let's take a picture, or a look rather, at the picture over on the far left. This guy made a birdhouse out of his, which I thought was a pretty cool, good idea. And he could hang it from a tree with a chain if that's what you want to do, and he's got like a plywood looking bottom to it, for the bird to land on and, what have you. So that's a pretty good idea. Now, the number one question in these is somebody that said, how do you get the hinges out if you want to take the top of it off? Use a nail, use a hammer, like it shows you over here, and you can drive the pins out of it, and that will take the lid off of the ammo can totally if that's what you need to do. Like say you're making the barbecue or you're making one of these that I'm suggesting. And the other over here is just showing you how he drilled a hole through it, with the drill, to put whatever he's going to put through it. But the main thing was, how do you get the pins out? It was a question I was asked on the forum, and I didn't hang around on the forum for a long time waiting for lots of questions and stuff. Of course, you can sand these down. I would use about 150 grit sandpaper. You might hit it again with 220 if you really want to make the paint job look nice on this. You might put primer on it and then whatever coat of paint you want. You might say, oh, I don't want to do that, and just shoot it with rattle can black, white, whatever color you want. You've got textured paints. It just all depends on what you want to do with these things. But these are to give you ideas. And for like $9-10, I think it's $10 by the time you're done if you use that ad. Go back to the beginning where the ad is, where I showed you that coupon. Take a photograph of it with your cell phone. Take it into Harbor Freight. Get yourself some ammo cans. Get out in the garage and have a good time with them. If it's not something you're into, maybe your kids would think it would be a fun project to make a birdhouse or something like that. I would encourage you to get out, have some fun with this stuff, especially when you can pick it up inexpensively, which appears to be the case until the end of October. I'm the Home Handyman. You folks have a good day. Give me a comment if you got another use or more uses for these ammo cans. Click subscribe. Keep following me. I will keep doing how-to videos. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.